The Sony A7 III. Is it worth it in 2023? Let's talk about it while I'm eating breakfast. The question is, the Sony A7 III is still worth it in 2023? We gotta know what kind of camera you're looking for. Are you looking for a camera that shoots 4K, that shoots 120 frames per second at 1080p for slow-mo? Are you looking for a camera that shoots great at low light for photography and videography? If you're looking for that kind of camera, this camera may be for you. Now I know why you're clicking on this video. I know the Sony A7 IV is out, you got the Sony R, I think they just dropped the 4th version. All these other cameras that came out, but you're trying to see if this camera is still the best bang for your buck. I'm here to tell you, it is. Now this Sony A7 III, I know it's like 3 or 4 or 5 years old, but it's still worth it in this day and age. Yes, there's better cameras out there. Yes, Sony has made upgrades and made improvements so that the camera is like higher megapixels for photos and video, higher frame rates, and better 4K quality with Sony A7S III. But there's a but in there. If this is your first mirrorless camera, you can look no further. This camera has the best bang for your buck. If you're coming from DSLR, I came from the Canon, the Rebel series, the TS6. If you know, you know. I came from that camera and then I got this camera and I have not left it ever since. But I've been using this camera for 3 or 4 years now and it's done the job just fine. Now don't get me wrong, just because I say that it's worth it, I'm glad I have it. That doesn't mean I wouldn't get the Sony A7 IV or AS3. That's not what that means. But if this is your first camera, your first mirrorless camera, you can't go wrong with it. Like I said, you got 4K video, you got 120 frames at 1080p for your very smooth slow-mo, great at low-light photography, great at low-light videography. Sony is known for their low-light performance, and it's noticeable in this camera. Let's talk about autofocus. This whole video I've been shooting has been in autofocus. I've set focus for the fridge shot, but other than that, everything's been autofocus. Now I talked about the highlights of this camera. Let's talk about some low light. If you don't mind, I'm gonna keep y'all here for right now because I got the hot stove and all this. Now, when it comes to skin tones, I've heard this from other cameras when I was using my Canon before this camera, the Canon T6SI or something like that, Canon Rebel something. I did notice a difference in the skin tones between this camera and that camera. This camera, the Sony cameras, at least the ones I've used, which is this one, the A7 III, I've noticed that the skin tones and tints in general are like more pinkish. And so you have to go into either your Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever you use to edit that. Now, given those reasons, the 4K, the 120 at 1080p, I think this camera is still worth it in 2023. Now, if I left anything out, let me know in the comment section below. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section below. All my links are down in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. Since my breakfast is done, this video is over. Thank you for watching.